I see you, bro.
Grow me.
Uh-oh, I think I got Miss Canna Queen Genetics. It's here. I accepted it.
Fire. What's up, Grow me? I
How
can't
you?
see you, but you know how that goes every now and then. You know, you're blessed. Sometimes we're not. I can see her, though.
Yes.
Hey,
Hi. How
Hi,
are
guys.
you?
Good. How are you?
Very
oh,
well. It is.
Awesome.
It is very nice to meet you, dear. Miss.
It's very nice to meet you guys too. Thanks for having me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we have our our hemp advocate, our educator, our cultivator, our breeder. Listen, I wanted to really get this, you know, this session with you for real. I want to top it up with you. We got some questions. Tone was put me on to you, and I just was fascinated from when I checked out your profile and everything like that.
Aw,
You're
You know,
dope.
you do what you do.
thank you.
Immediately got you dialed in, man. So here we are. We're all free today, and figured let's talk, man. Tone, what we got for it, Tone?
Oh, I hear this. I think that I know that she's a breeder. You're a
Actually, I
woman of.
started as a breeder. I actually started right out the gate, probably less than 9 months after I started growing. I became a breeder. It was like that. It was like I was born for this.
What are you breeding with? You have your own strains too, don't you?
Yeah, I have over 70 strains that I actually made myself. But just this past year, I put the breeding on the back burner, and I got my hemp license. I'm a little sick, so sorry.
Wow.
Um, yeah,
So,
I got my hemp license, and now I'm growing
congratulations.
CBD, and I'm hoping to start making CBD strains, hemp certified hemp strains for the state of Florida. So
That's what's
That's
up.
my home. That's my home. That's where I'm
yeah,
from.
oh
Lakeland,
yeah,
Florida.
Florida
Um,
represent.
how
Where
was
at? Whereabouts?
I was in Lakeland. I was born in Lakeland by
Okay, I was
Tampa.
just there this past weekend.
Where?
That's
Oh my
funny.
God! I didn't know you were in Florida. That's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was born and raised here.
Wow.
So
So you okay? What was the process like getting your license?
it was actually way, way easier than you can even imagine. It was filling out a simple application, and you do have to own your property. That's pretty much the only stipulation. There's so much, dare I say, gray area right now because they know so very little about the compounds of the plant. So I'm kind of dancing in that area right now.
That's all. I was under the impression that Florida was like they hated weed. That's why I'm glad I'm
Yeah.
not there.
So
Kind
it's
of.
on the ballot this year for home grow.
No.
Um, no,
Yes.
not home grow. It's on the ballot this year for rec. So basically for it to go rec. I don't know that we're there yet. I don't know that Florida is that accepting to being recreational. They're barely accepting to being medicinal. There's my boss right now. I work at an amazing CBD store in
Yeah.
Naples, Florida, growing in health. We do a lot of advocating, educating, just hands on with the patients, and it's awesome. It's great to be out here and seeing the people being so inquisitive about this plant.
Yeah.
And I mean, Hans, growing in health, can attest. We had a 70, 80-year-old man come in the last week, and he never taken CBD before in his life, and we actually got him to take to buy a mushroom tincture. It's like gourmet mushrooms, like lion's mane and cordyceps and stuff like that, but for sleep. And yeah, and he was very open to it, and it was like a very eye awakening experience for me to like
Oh,
just
listen,
You're,
how do you feel about being an educator? Like, being able
yes.
to have the knowledge to educate. Is
I'm
that
so glad you're
something
here.
that you always look
Yeah,
forward to doing?
I'm happy to be here, dude. It gives me life to talk about so being in Florida, I've been underground for a really long time. And when I say underground, I mean, really underground. Like I was
Yeah.
in the forums, not showing my face. Like people thought I was a dude sometimes, and
Right.
I wouldn't change their mind.
Right.
I got a little
Yeah.
more respect that way, which is really sad to say, but it's true.
It's
Um,
disgusting.
We're
but
gonna get to that, but I know where you're going at with that. Go ahead.
Yeah, but back to your question, what is it like to educate? It's the most impactful thing that I feel like I've ever done, and I want more of it. I feel like
Mm.
the education and the knowledge is just not, it's not freely available to them, and I know that because I was new at this at some point. It was not free and available. Well, it was free and available. It was hard to find. It was hard to come across, and people like to gatekeep. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely not one of those people.
That's
Not
right.
one of those people. Yeah.
Facts.
Hi, everybody.
Hell yeah, extracting Queen Scooby. What's up, y'all? We got we got the Queen. We got
Yes.
her here. What
Yes.
what got you into this? What does living the dream? Because you're doing what a lot of Floridians cannot. How
Yes,
does it?
I
How
am
does
living the dream.
you
There's
wake
no other explanation of it.
you wake up and love it, don't
I
you?
wake up and I love my
It's
life. Um,
it's, it's fulfilling.
it's yeah, it's, I mean, it's a vibe.
I know
everybody
that's
should
right.
everybody should get to experience this. And I forget what your question was, but before you said that, but if you
Um,
remind me, I will answer it.
sorry, I'm so we're gonna
Yeah,
keep going
guess
though.
I'm
he was just
AD.
saying you live in the
I'm
dream.
ADD as hell. So
Me too.
um,
Me too. What
okay.
is okay, tell me about your farm, your CQG farm, Canna Queen.
So originally I
Genetic.
was Canna Queen Genetics Company, and I bred a bunch of strains. One of the first strains I ever bred was called Three Little Nightingales. It's a play off Three Blue Stars. It's a play off Three Little Birds by Bob Marley. Every little thing's gonna be all right. It was a 3-to-1 CBD strain. It was a cross of Harlequin times Sour Tsunami, which it was a sour diesel, West Coast sour diesel. It was an amazing CBD strain, but I kind of made it and I kind of like just put it on the back burner. And there were people who wanted CBD seeds from me over the years, and I was like, oh, I have this one strain that I made, and so people were like, you gotta do something with this strain. It's amazing, it's magic, it's medicinal, it's all the things. And I was like, everybody wants Thai THC right now, so that's where I'm going. I have to,
Yeah.
do what the market wants.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Right.
I played a little bit with the Three Little Nightingales, and I made something called Three Little Unicorns, and it was across from one of my best high THC
Yeah.
strains called Wookiee Unicorn.
Cookie.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
Wookiee, man. The Appalachia, that fruity, like,
I've
oh,
tried
it's
some of
beautiful.
I think I've tried some of along the lines of it before. I got some of your seeds before in group, but I just never documented it. It's when I was it came in a little bottle with a top into it, like a cork into it. Remember?
Yeah,
Like a little
I did not know that you grew my seeds. That's amazing.
it
That's
was when I
fucking
wasn't
dope.
on it wasn't when I was on Instagram. I was kinda high into New York. Just
So yeah.
but it was
Yeah,
delicious. The Wookiee. That was some serious smoke, girl.
yeah,
I remember growing it, and it didn't take too long to flower either. You
yeah.
made
The
that
Wookiee
strain
Unicorn.
yourself?
So I made that strain with a strain of Bodhi's called Purple Wookie, and it was Roadkill Unicorn crossed to Blackberry Widow crossed to Wookie 15.
Awareness, awareness 9 says that's it's fucking fire.
That's my bestie right there. She's
What's
my
up?
biggest
Thank
fan.
you for
I'm
being
biggest
here.
fan.
So it sounds like you've been putting in some work into this, trying to
Oh
get,
yeah, I mean I have
trying
11
to get.
years in cultivating and about 8
Yeah,
years in breeding. So
I don't. I seems like we went too far, man. Like,
Yeah,
tell me
it's a lot.
more
sorry.
It's a
about
lot.
yourself. Tell me more about yourself. Like, tell me when you started
What,
this,
what
when you
got you
got your
into
hands
this?
into this.
That's what you were asking me, and so that's a huge question. My
Go
ex was in
for
the
it.
army. Yeah, my ex was in the army. He was an Apache avionics weaponry control guy, and we got stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, which is actually on the border of Tennessee and Kentucky. And Tennessee was a huge red state, huge, like still is, I think. Um, and Kentucky wasn't that fond of cannabis either, and so I lived on post, and they were even more not fond of cannabis, obviously.
Damn.
Right, right.
Yeah, it sucked. It was like living outside of myself for 4 years in this
And
military
you love
community, and
and you love
it was
smoking cannabis.
oh, cannabis was so I started smoking. I was like 13,
Mhm.
and I always had the cannabis on me. Back then it was weed, hydro, crip, whatever. Like, I always had it on me. All my friends were drinking, popping pills, and I was just there over there in the corner, just smoking my
Hell yeah,
joints,
getting
just smoking my
stoned.
bowl. Yeah, just medicating. Like, literally, I knew it did something different for me. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was like special, and I
Right,
knew that even though everybody was calling it a drug, it was not that for me. It
right,
was something that made me feel like a
right,
normal person. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, right.
So
You don't feel, oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
You don't feel this is a gateway drug at all,
The only
do
thing
you?
it's a gateway to is either the refrigerator or more growing. Because I started growing my own food. I started growing, you know what I mean? Like, the
Yeah.
only thing it's a gateway to is a better life, honestly. Like,
Right,
or a couple extra
Mm.
pounds. It just
You
depends.
see
yeah,
this? I feel
yeah.
wonderful,
Yeah.
dude. This has never made me feel bad, dude. I wish people. You said, did you say what's a red state? Republican?
A red
What is a
state
red
is
state?
just it's like red, like stop, like you can't smoke. They want nothing to do with
Right,
cannabis or the plant or
right.
yeah.
Where was
It's
it?
not even medical. So I don't think Tennessee is even medical. I could be wrong. But
Right.
yeah.
Tennessee.
So
What?
red
They're
state where
illegal,
it's not medical, it's not recreational, it's nothing. Like they don't want you there. They don't want us pot smokers anywhere near them.
Right, right,
man.
right.
That's one of the states where the laws are not playing. You will go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, they
they're
got
not
to come
playing.
around.
Yeah, they're not playing around on any of
Yeah.
that.
No.
Why do you
Hey,
why do you advocate? Oh, go ahead, Mark.
no, I was just trying to move on a little bit because I know we don't have much time on here,
I
Tony,
know.
man.
I'm just.
Time goes
I'm,
by quick, man. You know what I
I
mean?
wrote down
But
everything.
I do want to ask her. What I do want to ask her is that, like, what I see is I see your grind, your motivation, and everything like that, right? And one thing I notice about women, they
You
kind of feel like they have to
are bullshit to be a girl. Like I've watched you
right.
for a
They
while.
feel like they're not
Sorry, Mark.
being treated fairly um, in this industry, in this
Oh
cannabis
yeah,
industry. But when
yeah.
you mention that when you weren't visible, when you weren't putting yourself up, when you're on the ground, you've gotten more respect to when you basically show people who you were. I want you to emphasize on that
What kind of
Yeah,
shit
a
is
little
that?
bit.
I mean, and so the
Bullshit.
disclaimer is I'm not playing the V card, but let me tell you something. I have faced more opposition. I've faced more disbelief. Like, literally in my live yesterday morning, someone said, "Oh, your husband does all the growing." I paused. I was like, why is it that, and this is somebody that's been following me for years, right?
Yeah.
And why is it that because I grow fire bud, like, look at this, like, because I grow fire
Oh,
bud,
we
like,
do.
automatically my husband did it, like, that pissed me off. And it's just like, something has to change, because just because I'm a female doesn't make me any less or any, you know what I mean?
Hey,
And I think it goes without
you
saying.
guys,
Right.
But
you
like,
guys
when I
bring
first
value.
came out, let me tell you, the forums, like, when I first came out, I was like, oh, people are gonna love that I'm a female and that I'm fucking growing and da da da. So
Right.
I'd be
Right.
like, yeah.
Well,
So
yeah. I mean, listen, I'm one of those. Tone is one of them. We're fascinated by it.
Fuck those
So
other
go ahead.
people, dude.
Yeah, carry on. You're not gonna get
so
everybody, but you know, some of us understand where you're coming from.
You were birthed by a woman. What the hell? I don't understand the concept of men sometimes. That's why I don't get along with men. I only get along really with Marvin and our guests, but in the real world, there's some chauvinistic pricks out there, dude. It's just sick. A
also
woman birthed you.
this is a predominantly, well, maybe not anymore, but when I first came out, it was probably a 90% male dominated industry. And for some reason, men think that they own the rights to the plant. And anybody who thinks that is dead wrong, because, and I think that all the time when people are like, oh, I'm going to patent this strain. And I'm like, the plant is not to be owned. Just like,
Right. That's
I mean,
right.
I feel like as a woman, like, we're nurturers, we're intuitive, we just have that instinctive motherly nature, like, and as a breeder, I'm creating, and so I have to be in tune with the plant.
Yeah.
And like, a lot of people are like, oh, I took the best purple Skittles and I crossed it to the best gelato, and it's like, dude, have you ever seen? Okay, let me just paint a picture for you. You ever been in Walmart and seen some of, like, not the the best looking people in the world, and then you look in their cart and see like the cutest fucking baby you ever seen.
Yeah.
So that's
True story.
genetics for you right there, because you cannot just look at something and see everything underneath, right? So with the plant, yes, the beauty is, you know, everybody wants these big, giant, frosty, like beautiful nugs, right?
Yeah.
Like they
You see that?
Yeah.
want that. But
Right.
That's
like
a bud.
you don't know that somewhere deep inside the genetics of this plant that something is wrong.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
I always tell people to maybe do the two best looking ones, but also
Right.
maybe do the two that in your mind it's saying, hey, that one might do good with that
Right.
one. And that's the still
Right.
small voice
Right.
that's like
And
trying to get you to
that
do
goes
it.
along with people too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, out of my many children that I may choose to have, you know what I mean? Not all of them
I,
will be
That's right.
the
They're all
I
nicest
compare
different.
and the
I
best, you know
compare
what I mean?
plant
But
genetics so much to humans because
Yeah,
in
you
order to
should.
understand it on that level,
right,
you basically like it's way more understandable if you can if and plants are so much like
right,
humans. Their genetics are
right,
just it's
right,
so close
right,
to ours. It's
right,
crazy.
right, right.
They take a
Right.
lot of
When
the
I get a
same
plant,
things our
when I
body
get a
does.
good right, when I get a good plant and it's doing good, I admire it more than I admire the other ones that are growing. But they're all going to be useful. But there's always one or two or three that you notice catches your eye more that's doing things that you probably you never seen. And that's just natural. You know what I'm saying? Not everything is going to be the same. You
Right.
know?
And human
Yeah.
nature is like we like pretty things. We like sparkly things. We like colorful
Mhm.
things, and that's human nature. And so the plant is all that and more. But there are those underdogs, right? Kind of like us guys. Like we might be not so shiny on the outside, but like if you just look a little bit deeper, like there's so much, you know what I mean? And
Right.
so
Right.
maybe
Absolutely.
get that underdog plant. Maybe the one that
If
you're
it
like,
means anything, no, go ahead. Just go ahead.
I was just saying the one plant that maybe you're like why are you so little? Like, why are you so, that's the one that's going to knock your dick in the dirt. She's going to be like, you talk shit to me the whole time, and now I'm going to show you why.
Hell yeah, dude.
Right.
What are
No,
you
I
looking
was just
for?
gonna say if it means anything, we see it in the
Yeah,
groves. You know
you
what I
do your
mean?
fucking thing, girl.
We
You
see it
do
in
your
the
thing.
groves. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
I don't care
What's
who's
going
growing it.
on?
It doesn't matter who's growing it. Look at the plants.
Yes.
You got a problem with her being a woman, dude? Like, what, is she doing it better than you? Does her plants look better than yours? Oh, I know it hurts.
Yeah, it's not
Suck it up and
popular.
move on, though.
Yeah,
Move
it's not
on.
popular.
Yeah, we
That's why
don't
I
even
haven't, I don't think
we
I,
look
so
past that.
I mean, I started selling and promoting and marketing my seeds in 2019. Sorry, in 2018. My seeds are actually old now. Not all of them, but I am retiring the queen, like some of my staples, my legendary strains, like the Queen White Haze. I'm no longer
Green,
offering her
white,
in seed
haze.
form. Yeah, the Queen White Haze is my legacy strain. It's the one I created my whole company around.
Yeah.
I'm retiring the seeds. Maybe I'll release them again one day, but if you have them, you have them. If you don't, sucks to be you, because
Man,
if you didn't see
I have
the,
anything of yours, man. You
only
know what I
saw
mean? Like
pictures. I've only saw pictures. Shit is fire, though. Your shit is crazy. It's really,
yeah.
it
So,
looks
I
amazing
mean,
to not think something on your growing technique. Whatever you're doing, are you going to, you're going in soil? You got some
I'm
plants
growing
outside,
in
too.
living soil, all organic, rainwater only. I believe in simplicity. I believe in bringing it back to, the just where we started. So I use my own compost. I use a little bit of the Roots Organics teas, and I top dress with alfalfa and calcium, and pretty much that's it. Like I don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Honestly, the thing that takes up most of my time is the IPM program, the pest management. In Florida, we got
It's
them
crazy.
bugs.
right,
Oh, I know y'all got some
right,
grasshoppers down there.
right,
Huge. They're like
right.
big.
Yeah,
No,
gotta
they're
stay
bigger
on
than
that.
that, but yeah,
That's a
Oh, man, they
man.
grew.
like this big.
Yeah, they're fucking massive. Those are bugs. Those are mutants, man. You grow vegetables as well, doing the same technique.
Techniques.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
I
made you
reuse
pick it?
my soil from inside outside with my vegetables, and I just re-amend it. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. So listen, where you going at with this? Like, where you See yourself 5 years from
Now,
now.
what are you doing?
What am I not doing is the actual
If you're
question.
Yeah.
Um,
doing it, but yeah,
yeah.
what do you are striving for?
So
Like, what are you
my goal
manifesting?
is, now that I got my hemp license, is right now Florida needs some smokable CBD flower. They need some CBD flower that looks like something you would want to ingest, and it's hard to come by right now. So that's what I'm focusing on, and then I am getting my dry room and my breeding chamber
Ooh.
up and built, and um, I'll be making seeds, hopefully, for the Florida market. Um, I do want to own my own storefront eventually, but right now I'm working one. I'm working with an amazing man, and the store is called Growing in Health. He does education classes every third Wednesday of the month, and they're $25, but you can redeem that $25 as store credit. Like, dude, he's awesome.
You
He is
have to
about the
support.
education.
It's just 20. No, I don't see. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
really believe in that.
honestly, it's like,
Giving it
it's
back.
because of how the market is these days. They want something for nothing. And until you have to conform a little bit. I say that as like a person in the cannabis space, we have to be like chameleons. We have to adapt and evolve as the market adapts and evolves. Even like predict where they're going and kind of go there and wait for it to catch up, because it's
Yeah.
so fast. It's like this. It's like, you know,
Right,
It's
anyway,
booming
it's a
down
lot.
there. It's
right.
Huh?
booming. Is it booming down there? The cannabis. How?
I mean,
Where is it?
it's
Is it?
starting to pick up. Like, this past weekend, I went to the Florida Cannabis Festival. It's my third year going. Cottonmouth Kings headlined, and Mendo Dope was there. I love Mendo Dope. I've been following Mendo Dope
What?
for like 6 years. Yeah. They rock the fucking stage, dude. And, I love following people and supporting people
Told you
about
about Mando
educating,
Dope. I told
advocating
you.
in the cannabis culture movement. When you're
Okay.
when you're raising awareness and you're bringing, opening people's eyes in different ways. So I love Mendo Dope. I
Yes.
support Mendo Dope.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah,
Cold Orange,
yeah,
Cold
They
Positive.
are the movement. They
definitely
are the
was one.
community.
Yeah, they were the first Romies on, the no till when I was on the no till and
One day I'm gonna do a
fell asleep on
track
those
with them.
videos. You know what I'm saying? Wait, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. You know what I mean? When they coming out with those videos, man,
And they doing
definitely a
Yeah,
their
man.
motivation.
thing, man.
The original weed nerds, like we were all,
Yeah,
it's so funny. People have compared me, which I'm not saying this. I'm just saying people have compared me and me being transparent with my journey, to Subcool, because he would go live. He wouldn't hide
Oh,
anything. He would talk about what he was going through.
right.
And I do
yeah.
the same thing. From the minute my journey started, I've been going live on Instagram for the last 6 years, maybe
That's why
Facts.
7.
you're so
Yeah.
Um,
popular. That's how you do it.
I mean,
You have to make sure that
just been
they
sharing. I've
see
just been
you.
really transparent with my journey, and it has not been without its ups and downs, and it probably will never be. But
There's no
um,
like really. You can know how you can like tell like a bullshit person, like almost like you're not. You've all. What I'm trying to tell you is you're one in the same, and one of all the cool people we've interviewed. Like you're always the same. If you get pissed, if you be sad, if you're excited, you're the same. And
mhm.
we know you for that. And man, we appreciate you for
Aw,
being so damn
thank you.
classy. For real,
I
for real.
appreciate that, because you know what? Like, finding real, true, authentic people in this space, and
Yeah.
notice I'm calling it a space because I used to call it a community, but the community is now lost underneath all the bullshit.
What do you mean?
But
Talk
authenticity
to.
is what I've staked my reputation on, 100%.
What are some things
Facts.
that you see that are kind of misinformed in the community? How these people acting? I don't seen people talk to people like they're on the street. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I honestly have backed up a lot from just being involved with people in the space, because every time I turned around, someone was stabbing me in the back, stealing my genetics, renaming my shit. Like, I constantly, it was people I would have never guessed these things happening with.
what?
I mean, I can give you an example. I've had a guardsman team for it's 6 years this year. I had a guardsman team. It's a team of testing, or they weren't. Now they're not testers. They've been growing for over 6 years, and had my genetics in their gardens. But several people in my guardsman team flipped the script, took my genetics. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that these people that I thought were my brothers, and you know what I mean? So it's just like, you really
Right.
have to have your own back out here.
Why would they why would they do that? And they have the actual breeder right there. I don't understand. That's a bad business move. bad business move. That's
No.
fucked.
Because people are about
messed
the
up.
here and now, right now. They want
How
the money,
easy
they
is
want
that?
the fame, they want the clout, they want that 15 minutes, and they want it right now.
Damn.
How easy? That's a question that I've never dived into on our show. How easy is it for that to be taken and someone saying, "Hey, I
How
do
fucking
that."
huge that is.
Oh, people, I mean, people have been white labeling shit for as long as I've been out here. They take someone's something and they put their own label on it. They can rename it. It's so fucking easy. It's probably the easiest thing to steal nowadays is seeds. And plus, everybody can be a breeder. You could take two plants, one can harm, you make seeds, all of a sudden, boom, you're a fucking seed maker.
Right.
Is that really?
And that's
No.
happening a
That's
lot.
not how it goes. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's
That's
not what
not
makes
how
a
it goes.
breeder a
I
breeder.
mean, my Queen White Haze is at an F5. Like it's a fifth generation. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's not how it goes, but that's what people are accepting, and so that's where the market has gone. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
all these.
Right. So maybe that's why the clones are kind of getting more popular now.
I mean,
Basically.
yeah. So there is some
I don't
notoriety
trust
to
clones.
having a clone only cut, I guess. But mama, hi Britt. Thank you guys. Yeah. So
Breeders,
Definitely
thank
support.
you for
Support.
coming.
Support. Yes.
You
Yes.
have
We
support
need,
from
we need the
everywhere.
support. Man.
Um,
Your wonderful
what are some?
work.
What are your favorite strains that you like to? Well, first, how do you deal with that? Do you just cut the people off and keep moving? Does it
100%. There,
does it
it's like
discourage you?
it's like I just cut the cord and I move on. And if I could show you my block list, it is extensive. Um, but you know what? Like it literally,
Yeah,
I just don't have time for people to like hold me back or try to, derail me in some way. I
right.
have put like I said, I have put the breeding on the back burner, but, um,
Right. Right.
but, now people are like gonna just like, I'm just gonna flood the Florida market with my flour and then see what
Yeah.
Oh
happens.
my
That's
God,
what it
I
is.
cannot
Man.
wait.
The flowers was important. Get you a
Mm.
nice, situation where only way to get it is through you.
What are
You know what I mean?
these? You have these. Did I cut you off, Marv?
No,
Okay.
no. I like getting cut off,
You
man.
have
Come
this.
on,
You guys
man.
are so kind to each other. I love
That's
that.
that's my dog, man. I
So,
love Marv. Hey, but
Britters down here just mentioned my harvest party. In less than 2 weeks, I'm having my very first event of my first harvest from the greenhouse, my hemp harvest, and I have two. I have the Arkansas Gangier and the Florida Gangier. Presenting the 8 cultivars. So they will be there, and then we will also have hors d'oeuvres that have terpene profiles that match the 8 cultivars. We're also going to
wow.
have infused drinks that will also match the terpene profiles of the eight cultivars that we'll have there. We're going to do games, door prizes. Always going to honor the veterans because my grandfather was a World
Yeah.
War II veteran, and my ex was in the he was in Afghanistan. Anyway, so I support veterans 100%.
What does 9/11 mean to you? Does it carry a meaning for you?
The what?
What happened in like 9/11?
Oh yeah. I mean, my ex-husband joined the army because
What?
I thought you were talking about. So this is a 13. So I wasn't
I'm
sure if
sorry.
you. Everybody's like, "Is that your nipple?" No, it's not. But I did get this tattoo representation of my ex-husband. We got married and divorced on the 13th. We were married 13 years. It was kind of crazy. But anyway,
The number 13.
yeah, the number 13 isn't really ring great for me anymore. But
It shouldn't for anybody. It's not a lucky number.
no, it's not a great number.
What?
But anyway, moving right along. November 11th, September 11th was something that will go down as one of the most horrific days in American history, at
Where
least
were
in our
you?
lifetime. I was in psychology class, and I
I was
was
in
a
school
junior.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
And
a
seen it
junior
on a
in high school.
TV, dude.
Yep.
And really didn't know
Watched
what I
it.
was looking at.
No, literally, it was like, huh, interesting. Wait, what? Like it was like you
Oh,
were like it was like something you would see in a movie or something. We're watching it on a
Yeah.
screen in
Yeah.
psychology class. Um,
rest in peace
but
to
yeah,
all of
so
everyone we lost that day, man. Seriously, that was tragic. It's enough
Yeah.
to make you
Sure.
seriously mad. But what are you have these bleeder phenols, man? What are these
yeah.
things?
Um, Back in the day, I grew a strain called Dragon's Blood hash plant, and it has a bleeding trait that was bred. It was bred to expose that bleeding trait by Bodhi, and it's a Hawaiian sativa. So it's like
Ooh,
a genetic trait linked to a Hawaiian sativa. But I can tell you, since then, I've had one of my own strains, which is Three Little Unicorns, bleed in my own garden. So I think that it has a lot to do also, besides the genetic linkage, with the health of the plant, the bricks level.
bricks?
Just like when you, yeah, so bricks means, so I can't really explain bricks like in a scientific term, but it's basically
Right.
the health of the plant. The higher
Please
the
don't.
bricks, the higher the health of the plant.
Gotcha.
And so the higher the health of the plant, the more of its better traits is exposed. So basically when you top a plant, whatever was left in the stem when you cut it'll just kind of like spill out. And so sometimes
Really?
it's a secretion of sugar from inside the plant.
Oh,
Yes.
that's what
So that's
that
why you'll
is.
see it get hard. You'll see it get hard and like kind of like scab.
Right.
That's because it was like a sugar,
Right.
secretion,
Oh,
something.
Thank you for
listen,
breaking
Oh,
hey,
thank
that
you
you.
know
down
your
to me.
stuff, man. You all into it. The earrings is dope.
Yeah,
You can, yeah, for sure. We appreciate the good look for the show. You're fabulous.
you're
Thank
And
you.
fabulous.
Thank you.
listen, you know your stuff. You know your stuff. You
I
know.
hope you get the respect you deserve. That's why we had to put you on the show. I was like, she's dope, man. She's not.
Yeah,
Look at her
y'all need
thing.
like a female. You need like a co-host. You need like a like a substitute. Like if one of you can't be here, like I can step in and like ask the questions that need to be asked.
Yeah.
Like I
I
do
want to
talk
try
about
it.
hard subjects that people don't like to hear or talk
As
about. I do
in,
call people out on the whole cookies thing. I'm sorry, but there's other
talk
strains
to me
out there
about the
than cookies.
cookies.
Yeah, but
All
so
I hear is
listen.
cookies.
So listen. We on Sundays. We're doing Sunday 7 p.m.s right now.
Yeah,
So
Oh
come
yeah.
on.
yeah,
Talk to
we
me about.
Sunday 7 p.m. We doing
So
like
it's hard for
this
me to commit right
Canna
now
session.
because we own a tow truck company. I work at a CBD store. I run the farm. I
Dang,
also do a lot of events on the weekends. I have an 8-year-old
how did we
son. I
get
do.
you?
I
How
don't
did we
know. You
get you
lucked
today?
out. You were blessed. I don't know.
We got you though. You do a lot, man, and we
But
we appreciate.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, for sure.
your
But
tow
what
truck
topics were you
company.
talking about? What do you mean? Topics you
Sky
like
Pilot
talking
just
about?
followed us. Shout out.
Shout out, big shout outs, man. What
What you
topics?
you sir?
What's your most important topics that you
Yes,
spend time
please.
on emphasizing on yourself on?
What are these cookies that you say
Honestly,
you're
if you
talking
want me
about?
to be like completely honest, it's going to be about ethics, integrity, standards. People like just not having any of those.
Right,
Found a
right now. Do
scammer,
you
dude, and I'm not
right? Do
gonna
you
say
think
his
people
name. I
want
just
you to
blocked him. I was so hurt. And not he didn't scam me, but people came to in the inbox and I told Marvin, I'm not gonna say his name, but you wouldn't believe it. It
Yeah,
it fucked me up. It really
yeah,
messed me up. That type
yeah.
of
Hey, you
We
know what?
stuff.
My head's been spun so many times by people. Nothing anybody does anymore surprises me. Does it hurt me?
Oh
Probably.
yeah.
But am I gonna let it stop me? No.
What happened to
respect.
just building a relationship with people,
Yeah.
talking to people
Right.
civilly, like your word, like if you weed
That's the thing is
doesn't have.
treat people like humans. Like
Right.
treat people like that's what I'm saying. Just because look, I saw you guys interview Floor Farm. Dude, I follow him. I've followed him for quite a while. Love his growth style. I love how he explains what he does. Bro, I'm a fangirl. Like, I love his style. And, like, he's humble. And that's what I'm saying. We need more humble
He's
people
cool.
who are not gatekeeping the techniques that would salvage people from losing their entire grow or,
But
vice
the
or
home
whatever.
grower.
Did
Right.
you
Right.
see? You
The home
saw
grower.
him. You saw him on our show kicking that knowledge, right? Free.
Yeah. Yes, dude.
There was
he's
someone
amazing.
in the comment section that was like, when he started charging for his classes, I unfollowed him. I'm like, listen, that's excessive. That's
Yeah.
excessive.
So listen, at some point we have to capitalize on our knowledge. Like people
Yeah.
want to take advantage of us to the point where it wasn't free for us to learn this shit. Now, mind you, I am 100% an advocate for the knowledge is out there and you can find it. You just have to not be lazy.
You
know what I
can
mean?
monetize yourself, though. You can't tell me I can't make money on the
You
things I
can,
know.
and
That's
that's what I'm saying. The
crazy.
people who get offended are either the ones who can't afford it and get so much from it, and that's why they're upset, or two, they have to find something wrong with you so that other people find that
There's nothing
as
about
well.
him that will make me unfollow him.
Yeah.
I understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I see some stuff.
That's what we're trying to change the game. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to change the game,
Yes.
man. Like I'm kind of like that stuff. I don't even notice some of the things because I'm so busy looking at everybody's techniques and giving respect and giving shout out, showing love. You know what I mean? Seeing how you put your print in this game in your own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So
Your husband should be proud of what you're doing, dude. For real.
I'm not married, but he is very proud of me, my fiance.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'm sorry. I thought you said you were married.
No,
My husband.
someone on my live yesterday just assumed that I was, married and that my husband did all the work, and I just was like, okay. If that's what makes you feel better about yourself right now, then
Why?
people have to and that's what I'm saying. Like people have to belittle other people to make themselves feel better.
People
And
are
if that's the
ugly,
case,
man.
people are
ugly.
Some people.
Yeah, dude, you can't be like that. You can't stop that. I tell people, you stop expecting things for free. That's not how the world spins, man. That's just not how it works. You gotta support.
Sky Pilot. I thought several times about writing a book. I'm not lying. But it would have to be like an audio book because I'm not a writer. I'm dyslexic. I'm ADD. That book would be like chapter 1 and 13 would be one of the same.
For the Boys Company joint.
Hey, Florida Boys,
everybody
you guys, they're dope. They have cotton candy. They got infused drinks, ketchup. They're dope. Yeah. I love them. I vended next to them at Red Eye like 3 weekends ago. Yeah.
So you can only grow hemp in Florida. You can't grow marijuana. It's coming, guys. It's coming. This is how it starts. Little tiny steps. Like it's coming. Because your plants that you grow they don't look like CBD. I can't tell the difference. To still tell the truth.
Yeah. Right.
What do you guys do with their CBD stuff? It looks like it's like frost everything. You want to smoke it, but there's no THC in it.
So there is THCA in some of the flowers that you're seeing.
THCA.
So THCA is the acid form of Delta 9. For those that don't know. But right now, that like I said, there's the government the agriculture department. I don't know who it is, but they know so little about the plant. When they outlawed Delta 9 and THCO, and
I thought Delta
they left the loophole for the THCA, huh?
I'm sorry, I thought Delta 9 was a strain.
No, Delta 9 is okay. So THC is tetrahydrocannabinol. Delta and then Delta 9, right? Delta 9 is tetrahydrocannabinol and oh, this is so hard. And THC strains, Delta 9 is the THC. And Florida Boy THC 9.
Right.
I got
it. I'm trying to spread lightly.
Right. Small there are small amount of THC present in the CBD, right? Very little.
Why are they making it why are they calling it these things? It's so very
well, I mean, it's just they give it scientific names once the scientists are dealing with it and trying to bring it out into form of a medicine. You know what I mean?
So because it was outlawed, cannabis didn't have a lot of studies on it. I mean, it did, but it was behind closed doors. So now that the studies are like boom in your face, all these compounds are being found. Right. There's over 200 compounds in
you know what? I appreciate all of that. That's fine with the CBD because that's basically a doorstep for the THC because once and it one day it will be government legal one day, and I hope I'm alive to be able to see it. And
Absolutely.
we will already have the blueprint from the CBD growers already
Yeah.
stepping their way in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one step at a time. Let's prove to them what this can do, and then they will show them exactly what else it can do once we, grow certain plants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We
What
just
made
can't be.
them?
So
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
contrary to popular belief, oh shit, I just lost what I was gonna say. Hold on. Um, hold on. Where was it? Uh,
What made them? What made them legalize it? Florida is just down there, or is that in Louisiana? Your third offense, you can get 10 years in prison for that. You can get. I think it's Louisiana,
the thing
and
is,
I'm pretty.
Biden is trying to reschedule cannabis to a Schedule 2. Schedule 2 still means that it has zero medicinal value, which
Oh,
is
fuck
bullshit.
that! Fuck that! No, then
That's
don't
what I'm
schedule.
saying.
Don't even do
Yeah.
it because
Don't,
what you're doing
and
it.
that's
When
what
are
I'm
you doing
saying.
it?
So, and I'm going to say something that goes against popular belief and maybe even just what you said about legalization. Even though legalization sounds like it would be freedom for the growers, it's only even more control and power when they legalize because then they can come into your garden, they can put cameras, they're going to serial number your seed
Oh,
all the way until when you flower. If it becomes an extract, that serial number will follow that seed all the way to the extract. And so if we think that legalization is going to make things better, I don't know that
dude,
that's true.
you got to be fucking kidding. Who's got time to barcode a seed? A
Yeah,
tag
no,
a seed?
they have
Well,
the
I'm
time
at
and they want to
well,
make
I'm
sure
gonna
that
ask
they get a piece.
for the home growers. If you can kind of for the home grower, you know what I mean. You can kind of dictate what you want to grow,
Yeah.
um,
Can you grow down?
and
You can't grow in
teach
Florida, can you?
more people to grow at home. Just show more, to grow more, and not have to have
Yeah.
an issue with growing
And that's
how
the
many
thing. If you
plants you
just,
want to
and
grow.
most people do just want to grow for themselves, and that's fine. But
Yeah.
when it goes wreck, everybody's like, aha, dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs.
Right, because
And basically
it's wreck
it
over
drives the
here in
prices
Connecticut.
down because everybody's growing their own. They don't need to buy it from you anymore. They don't need to buy it
Right,
from the dispensaries anymore. And
Right.
so that's where all the problems come in.
Don't
right.
you
It's
think that'd
going
be a
wreck.
good? I know.
Go ahead.
I know the government doesn't like all these dispensaries and shit. They just took out all types of freaking weed shops in Newark to Williamson to Ontario. So I know they don't like it, but wouldn't you want them to just grow their little few plants in their home or on their few plants on their property so you can get rid of all these weed shops that are popping up? Not that I want to get rid of them. I don't trust a
Negative.
lot. That's why I grow
That's
my own
the
shit.
exact opposite of what they want. They don't want the people growing their own. They don't want the power back in the people's hands. They don't want big pharma not selling pills to the little guys. They don't want that. That's why
No, no, come
it's
on.
where it's at
How
nowadays.
much it'll really fuck the whole system up if they legalize weed
I
from
mean,
big
in
pharma
my mind,
point of
no,
view?
because look at Colorado. Look at all the states that have used that
Oh yeah,
income from
oh yeah.
from the cannabis to make their state better. Like goes back to
It,
schools,
it'll,
goes
it'll,
into homeless
I think
housing.
it'll mess up the facilities they already have established to create dollars already. You know what I mean? So if they have a certain amount of facilities already in control, you know what I'm saying? Now you're only kind of allowing them to profit right now. You understand what I'm saying? So now if you legalize it, now you're kind of
Up
taking
Scooby.
from them.
Yeah.
Right. It's a strange situation but legal, even if it's saying just legalizing it, but some states are doing setting standards of doing it differently. You know what I mean? I know recreation in Connecticut just happened and just past January where, but they're only allowing like a couple of facilities for you to go to walk in,
Recreation
you
doesn't
know?
mean you can. What does
And,
recreational mean?
and
Does it mean you can grow it and be?
Recreational means that basically it is 100% legal for anybody to smoke and possess cannabis.
No,
Now,
I
they
don't.
can still put
Fuck
a
that.
limitation on where you can do that. Like in Colorado, I was in Colorado in 2013 when it, like a couple years after it got legalized. And let me tell you something. I would sit at a red light and we would pass a blunt to the car next to us. Like, that's how fucking awesome it was. But like, you're not allowed to smoke at the parks. You're not allowed to smoke like where people can smoke a
Nah,
cigarette, which is fucking
considered
bullshit.
it's considered like
Bullshit.
alcohol where I'm from.
Yes.
It's like they put it on
It's
the list of,
regulated. It'll be regulated just like that.
so you
Exactly.
kind of do it at your own leisure, at your own safety of others.
Recreational
But
doesn't
you
mean
are
you can
able to
go in.
smoke outside a certain amount of feet from people's, you know what I mean, whatever.
Okay.
It's get, to a
Yeah.
point where it's better than what it was before.
Yep.
Well, recreational doesn't mean you can grow like 4 plants by yourself. That's not what that
So
is.
once they pass recreational, then they will pass another law for home grow, and it's like a whole different. You can grow this many plants, and you can have this many people in the home who grow this many plants, and then that's when
Right.
metric comes in. Like, literally,
Right.
they will put a camera in your fucking home that turns
No.
on and records when your door opens, when it's shut, so they know when you go in there, when you come out, what plants you touched while you were in there, if you brought something out with you,
What?
like all those things.
You got
All
to be
those
kidding
things.
me.
No,
You got to
I'm
be
not.
playing. They put
No, I'm not
a
playing.
camera in your home. That's what they talking
Right.
about.
Certain states have certain
They
approach.
tripping.
It's,
No.
you just gotta go to where the approaches ain't being delivered. Like, I gotta have some
I've
freedom.
never heard. I've never heard
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
that
So when
before.
you think that recreational is freedom, it's probably I don't. It's
It's not.
it's not.
That word means nothing, does it? It don't mean nothing.
No,
Not yet. No. It's just
not in Oklahoma. What do you
another
mean, Laura?
form of control, maybe.
Yeah, every
Another
state
form of
is
Scooby says,
different. So what I'm saying is, like, that was in Michigan, that was in Colorado. I don't really know about anybody else, but problematic freedom or
yeah.
let's see.
Yeah, I know. We know that it's
How
not
about
like
this?
that everywhere.
Captive freedom.
It's not like that where I'm
Oh, okay.
from.
Okay.
I didn't even
But
see all these comments. This is crazy. Just like we thought they stopped. Yeah. Just like we thought they stopped slavery. They never did. This world is
right,
sick.
right,
This world is a sick, sick place. Who said
yep,
that?
right, right.
Sky
That's it.
Pilot?
So, so tell us. So you take pride in being a cultivator.
I'm sorry?
So you
You take
said
pride.
you take pride in being a cultivator.
This is what you do. This is what you wake up to do.
Yeah, I mean, so a year ago, I went into a couple CBD stores in my town. I live in Southwest Florida, so basically my town is the last town before 75 turns into Alligator Alley on your way to Miami. Literally, that's my town.
Oh my God. Yes.
It's the third richest city in the state of Florida. So we have a lot of hoity-toity snowbirds that have their vacation homes here that come down 3 months of the year. And it's difficult to be who I am and do what I want to do here because of the prestigeness, maybe. I don't really know. Like,
They're
you,
stuck up. They're rich, stuck
yeah.
up people. Just
Oh
tell the
yeah,
truth.
100%. Yeah. I don't smoke that stuff. I don't get high.
I bet you
And
got
then
a
like they'll come in
fucking. I
and
bet you got a closet full of pills, though.
Yeah,
or I bet you
Here,
drink that bottle of wine or prosecco at the fucking restaurant and
yeah,
then drive your ass home,
every
don't you?
drop.
yeah. For sure,
Talking
for
about what
sure.
you don't do.
Yeah.
You know what this could do for your old body? This will heal your body, girl. I don't.
You know what's crazy is now that I work in the store and like a lot of older people, it's so beautiful. These older people are coming in, never tried, like I'm talking in their 70s, in their 80s, and they've never tried CBD before, but they are coming into the store with an open mind. They're like, what can CBD do for me? And that's where I stand in that gap. And also
Yeah.
Hans, the owner of Growing and Health, and we stand in that gap and we fill that void and we educate them. We have visuals in the store that show you like where your endocannabinoid system is inside your body, where the receptors are, what functions they regulate, and so like I can with a visual teach these people about their body, their own body.
Yeah.
So
You're
it's pretty
Right,
healing
crazy.
people.
right.
Because all they need to do is have some of that in them. I mean, if they don't want to get high, they can just get the CBD in them and it'll heal.
Yeah.
It'll hurt. Whatever ails them, it will help. I'm an advocate about that. I don't really remember not smoking weed.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I have a very good friend that's disabled. You know what I mean? She doesn't have, any legs, and she's in a wheelchair. And
Yeah.
but she's a real good friend, very good tester of mine. You know what I mean? So she's only thanked me, and she's only giving me good compliments of it and how it's helping her. And she also makes medicine with other natural herbs and stuff like that. So she's a
And you want to
healer
say,
in that way.
you asked me earlier what cannabis was the gateway to? I'm going to tell you right now. It's the gateway to health. Because I started growing my own herbs and I started growing, like, dude, everything that cannabis has done in my life has been a positive impact. Even,
Yeah.
even
Right.
with, like, the industry stuff, like, that goes with any industry, you know what I mean? Especially being a female in a male dominated industry. It's hard for females, period. You know what I mean?
I could
So
Right.
only imagine. I could only imagine what you guys endured.
I am
Now,
from Florida, for sure. Yeah.
now we are
What?
from CT.
You said you had ADHD. I have it too. What you forget what people say what weed does for ADHD. Do you see what it does for ADHD?
Oh, so I have ADD. So it's literally the equivalent of ADHD except for in my brain. So I'm not hyperactive in my body, but my brain is hyperactive. So at any
Yeah.
given moment, I have 1,000 thoughts going through my head at one time. And I explain it like this: it's like quicksand. You just got to grab one, and hopefully it doesn't fall through your fingers before you can get it out there. But sativa and ADD, let me tell you something. I have felt the most relief. I've been on Adderall. I've been on Ritalin. I've been on all the things. And
Yeah.
when I take RSO, I feel like my brain is at a level. I can grab thoughts. Dude, I'm productive.
Yeah.
Like, even when I'm overwhelmed, I just do one thing at a time until I fucking make my way out of that hole. But
Yeah.
Right.
dude, cannabis has changed my life in so many ways, but
Oh, I love
definitely
it.
Right.
being able to
So
function with
right.
this,
You're making
with
extracts, and you're making tinctures and stuff like that. And
I make what I'm like I specialize in is Rick Simpson oil. I've started
Rick
4 years
Simpson.
ago making Rick Simpson oil. It is full extract plant oil. So basically you use the whole entire plant and you extract it either with alcohol, grain alcohol or isopropyl alcohol. And then you evaporate the alcohol off and all you have left is the actual black tar from the medicine. Actually, I'll show you. I'll show you what it looks like.
all right, right, right.
Who's Rick
Yep.
Simpson? If you're gonna say
Rick
him,
Simpson is an amazing man who formulated this oil for people with epilepsy, people with stage 4 terminal cancer,
Right.
terminal patients of any medicinal.
RSO. Yes, RSO.
you know who
Right.
he is,
Yeah,
Mars?
RSO is I mean, I it's everything.
Right.
It's the whole
I've
plant.
right.
You only have to take a time. I think I have a little bit right here. So
There you
it comes
go.
in a syringe like this. This is a 1 gram syringe.
Right.
So every 1 gram syringe that I make has 1,000 grams of 1,000 milligrams of THC.
Right.
It's also
Oh,
made with about 6 or 7 different strains, so it hits on all the cannabinoids.
yeah.
It hits on
Right.
all the cannabinoids. So whereas you can only get certain, like maybe 3 different cannabinoids from smoking a joint, when you take this RSO, you're getting 130 cannabinoids.
Right.
And you only take the size of a grain of rice. That's how strong it is. The size of a
Right.
grain of rice is like smoking 7 joints.
Right.
7 1 gram joint.
Right.
Like smoking a quarter to your brain is how much you're taking
Right.
in the size of a grain of rice.
Right.
So
That shit's heavy,
Now,
ain't it?
are they trying to is that recommended for kids that are struggling
um
with
so
high
Should be.
yes,
disorders?
it started out being recommended for children with terminal diagnoses or epilepsy, and so I actually follow this woman. If you guys don't follow Team Landon, she is the one who inspired me about the RSO. And then I found my friend Doc Wigglers. My friend Doc Wigglers was based out of Michigan. He had a worm farm. He was from Florida. And he Yeah, and so from his own grow, he would make RSO and give it away to the cancer patients. Now, one of these runs you at the dispensary about between $60 and $80. I sell these for, well, I don't sell these, but if I did, they'd be between $40 and $50.
Right.
But he was giving it away for free. Out of the kindness of his heart, he was just helping people. And he taught me how to make it the correct way. Doc Wiggler's passed away this year. May he rest in
Oh
peace.
man, yeah.
But
Rest in
he
peace.
left this gift with me, and so I'm spreading it
Right.
everywhere.
No, is having a distiller part of it?
I have something called the Source Machine. It basically reclaims all my alcohol. But the thing is, the crucible is only the crucible is like the little bowl that sits inside the machine, and it only fits about 2 ounces of liquid.
Right.
I'm used to making about 20 to 30 grams of RSO at a time, and when I make it in the Source Machine, I only get like 10 grams at a time. So, but I do reclaim my alcohol. So.
Right. Awesome.
The
Awesome.
entire plant, stems and everything.
This plant, man, listen, this plant is amazing, man. This plant is amazing. And on our show, that's why I love, this show, because every time we have a guest, they're introducing us to something that's helping them.
You just talk about so much stuff
from this plant.
So the reason why I take RSO, and this we can delve deeper into this another time, but I took care of my grandmother. She had stage 6 Alzheimer's. And I was her caregiver. She inevitably passed away on my watch. But what happens is you forget everything up until the point where you forget how to swallow. Like, it's the most unbelievable, painful thing to ever watch someone you love go through. And as I was taking care of her, I was like, holy crap, like she's my closest paternal relative. Let me get tested. I got tested, and I do carry the Alzheimer's gene. So I at first thought it was a death sentence. I thought it was just, that was it for me. I was done. I'm 38 years old, and I realized that I'm going to die of Alzheimer's, and the people I love are going to watch me forget how to swallow and then starve to death.
Is that what that means?
So I'm predispositioned to I have the Alzheimer's gene, so I'm predispositioned to have an 80 or 70 to 80% chance of having it. So basically, to me, I have it. So in my brain, I was like, what can I do? So after I got over like the initial the doom of it, right? I decided that I was going to do everything I possibly could do to protect myself. And so I did a deep dive. Now, mind you, it was a lot of things. I had to change my diet and the way I lived, but also in my research, I found that high levels of THC THC is a neuroprotectant. Okay, so it acts like an armor for your neurons, right? And so what happens with Alzheimer's is your neurons calcify, and they inevitably stop accepting the transmitters. Like it calcifies and it doesn't accept that. So then, that's where your memory and your cognitive association comes from. Stay away from aluminum. I cut out everything. Like, I don't eat out of aluminum cans. I don't drink out of aluminum cans. I don't use aluminum deodorant. I use magnesium and charcoal deodorant. Yeah, and I started making all my own. I started infusing all my own oils. Like this right here is called black seed oil. It's a cancer killer right here. I started infusing everything. Rosemary is really good for memory. Cloves really good.
Made some rosemary last night. Yeah, and I like it. I like having it in my tea too. A nice fresh rosemary.
Go to Walmart. Seriously.
Yeah. So
rosemary,
even just smelling rosemary can help your memory. Just smelling it. So people, what they do is they hang it in their bathroom, like with some eucalyptus or something. And when they take a hot shower, it steams, and you kill two birds with one stone.
Yes.
You just
definitely
keep teaching me. You. Oh wow, that's fantastic. I'm dead serious. I didn't know any of these flowers really had effects on your memory and stuff. All this cannabinoids and your receptors. You know your stuff, man. I love it when you teach me. I feel like this is the
I'm totally into that stuff, man. You know what I mean?
I feel like the cannabis industry it's they don't give you guys enough respect. That I do feel women. You guys are a lot of you. Well, most of you. I just feel like women are smarter than men at a lot of
See,
things.
and that's where I do want to draw the line, because that's where the penises start to
Right.
retract inside their bodies. Is when we
Right.
say, "Oh, we're
Right.
smarter than you, we're better than you,
Not
This is where I'm
But
like, okay,
together,
we're
we
not
gotta
better,
work
we're not
together.
smarter, but we can do it different. Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
saying that men can't tap into their intuitive side and all
Yeah.
that and their sensitive side, but you guys make it a point to hide that part of yourself.
Yeah.
Unless you're very in tune with your body, and you're not, and that's great, and I encourage that. But that's why we're different. We're not better, but that's why we're different, because
Right.
Right.
we
Right.
don't suppress those things. Like
Right.
we thrive on them. You know.
Right. We all have a purpose on this in this world. We just have to utilize the purposes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Together in harmony, without destroying, without pointing out.
Women make the world go around. Without them, we couldn't populate. There's a lot
That's
of
what I'm
things that
saying,
women.
though. If everybody in the cannabis space would stop looking at everybody as competition and start working together and collaborating, then we would be more stronger together. But because we're so stacked and pressed against each other,
Right.
it's just getting worse and worse
If
and
they all
worse.
just came together and then focused all that energy on what's like trying to stop your dream from happening.
What's the
Put
one
that energy
common
there.
denominator that we all have that binds us? What's the one? I wouldn't know you from a hole in the wall. I wouldn't know you from a hole in the wall. What is that common denominator?
Love. I don't know.
Love.
You know,
We're
each
like
other.
being human.
You know, communication. You know,
Oh,
that too.
The
Yeah,
plant
for
of
us, yeah,
course.
has brought us
that's
together so
defiant.
that we can see that we're not
course.
different. The plant has been that
The
denominator that has brought
love
us
for that
together.
plant.
Mm,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
that's right.
Yes.
Yes.
It's never
For
caused hate
sure.
between people, and people are bringing hate with it. It's like, oh, see, this is why shit can't go right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I
Precisely.
just kind of leave it into people's hands. Like I've never seen it destroy anything. I only seen it help people.
The only
And I've
thing that's
seen things
destroyed
that
anything is the
destroy
human
things.
hands.
I've seen it like be well welcomed in a lot of areas. You know what I mean? It only kills and destroy
There's
things.
so many
Cancer
corners
cells.
in the cannabis. Yeah, there's so many corners in the cannabis space that there's so much room for everybody. And there's enough for everybody to eat too. And like I feel like the human nature is to overconsume, to hold on to stuff, to look for, anyway, you know what I mean? So
I
that's
do.
why we're at where we're at. That's why we're at.
Right. Right.
Egos and pride and money and clout and fame
We need
and
some
Those
more.
are made up things too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Those are actually made up things.
we
They
need
don't
more women
apply
to
to
lead
survival
in
at
the
all.
industry.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You guys
It's
know.
just when it comes to when you have too much and you get too comfortable, you start to do things like that for no reason. You know what I mean? It's not you got to control yourself. We got to control ourselves better.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Oh, it's like it's where the whole world is going, is over consuming, overindulging,
Over.
everything is
Right.
just too much.
yeah.
It's
Right.
like, even with the plant, like y'all, like, not that the whole best thing about it is like you can get crazy with it. You can go as deep as you want and all that. But like,
It's
what
fun.
happens is just letting the plant be. Like just letting it, like
Yeah.
not forcing her to do
Will
this
said
or that,
that
or,
too.
Right.
you
Right.
know?
Will said that.
Right.
Yeah, he said that. Why are we trying to change something that's been perfected for thousands of years?
Yeah.
See,
Check your
that's why I
egos,
vibe
man.
with
Right.
people like
Shout out to Mark,
y'all.
man. Check your
What are they
egos at
trying
the
to
door,
change
man.
about it?
Yeah,
What
that
are they
instant
trying?
gratification is one of my biggest things, man. It's just like any other thing that we look at. You know, we want it, you know, the way perfectly,
Yeah,
and there's people willing to give it to you, no matter how they do it. They'll end up doing it, but
they're gonna
we
time
don't.
us out,
Right?
guys.
It's just weird stuff,
Ah,
man.
poo.
They're timing us out. Well,
Well, I had so much fun with you guys. I knew I was gonna vibe with you when I watched a few of your interviews. I was like, yeah, I like
yeah, I
them.
know
Yeah.
you're cool shit, man. Like you're like one of the homies. Like the way you are, your whole vibe. And I love how you keeping it real with everybody and telling people about this plant. We really appreciate you, Mama. They're finna cut us off.
All right.
Hey, hey,
Thanks for having me.
Bye,
hey.
guys. Peace.